Michael, how devastating as well?
Pretty tough loss, Mel, to be honest, after getting so close. I think, firstly, credit has to go to England. You know, they continued to fight throughout the whole 5 days and managed to get over the line, so credit to them. But I think our boys should hold their heads high. I think another example of experience in your squad showed today with the way Brad hadn't played. He deserves a lot of credit for fighting so hard, and there's probably nobody more disappointing in the change room at the moment than Brad. And then to the other guys that batted with him, did a fantastic job as well. So, look, I think all Australians would have loved to have seen a different result, but if you talk about great Test cricket, you're not going to get many better Test matches than what we've just seen.
So was it more or less devastating than Edgbaston in 05?
I can't remember 05. I can, but I just don't want to. I was a lot younger then, so it's hard to compare. I think it probably does hurt you more when you're captain because I guess you're a little bit older and I care so much about the guys that I'm surrounded by. So, not that I didn't care back then, but I was the youngster watching and learning. Where now I feel like I'm trying to help, get the guys up on a daily basis and make sure that even when they're down, to try and not be too down. And I guess that's part of my job now to make sure all the boys are up and ready for what lies ahead in 4 days.
Tim?
Given what's happened over the last month or since you arrived, Michael, it must give you great heart for the rest of the series. I mean, you've always had to believe that you could win the Ashes, but this must be a massive boost.
Well, I think we've probably proved to a few people that we're here to compete. There's no doubt about it. I said it on day one. I'm not surprised how close we got. I'm disappointed that we couldn't get over the line. And I said last night that I still thought we could win the Test match. So, we as a team are disappointed we haven't won this first Test. But I hope we've shown. I hope we've earned a bit of respect by the way we've played. That's what's important. Our team's going to give our all every single time we take the field. We're here to win this series. We know it's going to be tough, and we've just experienced that over 5 days. But for the people that have written us off or did write us off before a ball was bowled, I think we might have changed a few of their minds.
Yeah.
You mentioned before about 05 and trying not to remember that. How important is it in the next few days to put today's events and the closeness of it out of your heads to concentrate on?
Well, I don't think there's actually too much to say, to be honest. I think, like I say, I think the boys should hold their heads high. I thought we fought really hard throughout these Test matches. We will know, there was times through the Test matches where we could have done things a little bit better, but we also know how close we are to winning today.
Michael, when did you and the selectors decide that Ashton Agar was ready for this match? When did it come into your minds that he was a sort of candidate to play in this game? It was a disappointing selection.
Well, once he was selected on this tour, we knew he was certainly a candidate to take part in a Test match, and the team was announced to the team 2 days before the first Test.
What did you see in him that made you think he was ready?
Exactly what you just seen in him over the past 5 days.
Michael, the Test was decided on a DRS call. Was England's better use of the technology a major factor in this result?
I don't think the Test was decided on one DRS call at all. There's plenty of times throughout the game, if you look from the first ball bowled to the last ball just bowled, where there was the ups and downs, that roller coaster ride. Like I say, England deserve credit. They've won the first Test match, and there's plenty of times where we could have done things a little bit better to give us a better chance of winning this Test. But we learn from that, and we make sure we improve in the second Test.
Rich, when you watching from the final decision, looking at the way you appeal and the original decision, was your instinct that it was out or in?
I have absolutely no idea, sitting 80 metres away. I can't tell. I've got to look at the TV like everybody else and wait and see if there's a mark on hotspot. So, I can't tell live, that's for sure. And I'm biased as well. I'm definitely going to say an Australian batsman's not out.
Michael, given where we're at with the DRS, would you prefer to see the game go back to pre-referrals?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to go there. At the end of the day, this is what we've got for this series. I'm going to concentrate on trying to get my referrals better.
How do you sum up Brad's innings, Michael, and how does that sort of compare to his best through his career?
He's played a few good ones, and I've grown up playing with him, so I've seen him through, junior cricket and New South Wales make a lot of very important runs for us. But I think the courage he showed to play his natural game, the way he played under pressure, again, I think experience plays a big part there. And credit to him, it's great to see him back. Well, it's great to see him to have seen him fight his way back into this Test team. I know he loves being around this group, and it's good to see him lead from the front today.
Michael, it's quite a bizarre way to end one of the best Test matches of all time. 20,000 people looking up at a replay screen. Does it take away from the moment?
Times have changed, haven't they? Look, again, I think the system's in place. It's consistent for both teams. It's the way the game is now.
Michael, it's a great test, but you wouldn't have got anywhere near it without those 2 10th wicket partnerships. What can you do to try to address the fragility of the top order?
Hopefully not give number 11 a bat next game. That'd be a good start. But again, I've said for a while to the Australian team that I don't care who makes the runs or who takes the wickets. You need to take 20 wickets to win a Test match, and you need to score a lot of runs. So, you know, you'll see our bowlers batting as much as the batters in the nets, and the same, the part-time bowlers doing plenty of work with the ball. So it's about the team. Team performance is what's most important.
Mark, you said you want to try and get better at your use of the review system. Do you have a set way that you go about deciding whether or not to review?
I don't have anything in writing. I don't have a contract how I'm going to use it, but look, generally I'm trying to ask the people that have the best sight. So if we're fielding, it's generally the wicket keeper in the first slip because they have a good view, and also the bowler. But a lot of the time the bowlers always think it's out. And when we're batting, I'm putting the faith in the players to make that judgment. If they think it's worth reviewing, then I back them 100%.
Alistair says that one of the real key things when England are looking to review is using the wicketkeeper because he takes some of the emotion out of the situation. Do you feel that maybe you need to do the same?
I just said the wicketkeeper and first slip are generally, and the bowler are generally the 3 people I talk to. So
I'm just about the emotional aspect of it. Whether you got caught up in some of the emotion with some of the reviews that you used in this match.
I don't think the emotion had anything to do with it.
What was the atmosphere like during the lunch break in your dressing room? Did you have to say anything to Brad and Patterson?
No, look, it was exactly the same as when we arrived today. The boys were full of confidence. We knew it was going to be a fight to the end. It was about, you know, Brad and James playing the way they play, backing themselves and playing the way they play.
Michael, is dealing with Jimmy Anderson going to be a fairly key part of whether you compete in this series?
I think the whole England attack. We know what we're up against. We know they're a good attack, plenty of experience. So we have to combat that. We have to make sure we're batting well, putting plenty of runs on the board to give our bowlers the opportunity to take 20 wickets.
Michael, how much easier or harder do you think it will be to get a bounce back from a younger team as opposed to a more experienced one?
I don't think it'll be that difficult, to be honest. I think if you walked into our change room now, you'll certainly see some disappointed people. There's no doubt about it. We feel we're so close to winning this Test match, but I guarantee they'll be counting the next 4 days down to start the second Test. I think that's just the group we have at the moment. The guys are full of energy, and we want to have success on this tour. So the only way to do it is get on the park and try your best, like I think we did over the past 5 days.
Michael, when you talk about earning respect and proving people wrong, did you feel beforehand as a group that actually some of the things that were being said and written were disrespectful to the Australian team, the 10-0 whitewash, that kind of thing? Oh, look, I think I've become accustomed to hearing that since I've taken over the captaincy. On every tour I've been on, opposition teams have written us off. So, yeah, at the end of the day, we're going to play our best cricket and we'll earn the respect of the people that don't respect us.
You probably had a chance to look at your first innings dismissal. Was it playable?
I haven't had a look at it, actually. I don't have to look at it again. I felt it when I was out there. It was a very, very good delivery, and I'm not sure. Some players might have hit it in the middle of the bat through covers for 4, but unfortunately, I missed it and got bowled.
Michael, this is a philosophical question, not a question about DRS.
Go for it, Mel. I'm all ears.
Philosophically, the DRS was introduced to get rid of the howler.
Yeah.
And we've had 5 days of minuscule decisions on the DRS, and the howler stayed. Would you like to see a system, or do you have any other system that would work to get rid of the howler?
Well, I think that's why the DRS has been introduced. There's no doubt about it. I don't know the answer to your question, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think I like the fact that it's consistent. Well, what we've got is the same for both teams. That's all I can ask for. So, yeah, I don't know the answer to your question, sorry.
Is it bad look for cricket? And if a bloke, and I know that we're talking about Broad in this case, but generally, if there's an obvious out that's not given when really close calls are given, is it bad for the game?
That's the way the system is. Unfortunately, if I use my reviews better, then I have an opportunity to use it when there's a howler like that. But yeah, we've still got 2 umpires on the field. You know, they're the most important people out in the ground, those 2 umpires, and they make their decisions. And as players, I've been brought up to live with the decision of those guys. You know, and there's the advantage you have now, especially as a batsman, is if you think you didn't hit the ball, you have the chance to refer it. Sometimes you find out you did hit it, like in my case. Other times you find out that you were right. So yeah, to me, it's how the game is, and you learn to live with it and get on with it.
Is it a non-DRS question?
It is, yeah.
Last question.
Was there a plan for you guys to get after Stephen Finn? He was hit out of the attack a couple of times in the match.
No, look, the plan for us today was for the guys to back themselves and play with good intent. Everybody in our team plays a little bit differently, but I think the only way to have success is to play your way, back your natural instinct and your gut, and that's why you train your backside off. I guess every single day you go to training to get better. So when you get in pressure situations like today, you feel like you can just walk out there and play with freedom, and that's why I say I think our boys can hold their heads high, because I certainly believe they did that today.